Okay, hear ye, hear ye. I call this meeting to order. Let's see, it's 6:03 p.m. And we've got me and Eileen Rooney and Danielle and Belk. And this is the Pride Subcommittee meeting. Okay. The things that I had put on the agenda were the flag raising and the various components of that, which we can continue to talk about. The concert, the panel. If there's any new stuff we have to talk about. I can talk a bit about I guess this will go under flag raising, but under the, I can talk some more about the flag situation. Are there other things that I didn't put on here that we need to talk about?
I don't think so. You got them.
Well, if things come up, we can add them.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so flag raising. Arlene, I got your emails about the choral group.
And then Riley is going to try with the 8th graders. I actually totally forgot that the 7th graders are going to New York the 1st of June, and then come back the 3rd. So they won't even be here to sing. So there's that. But I think the 8th graders are available, so he's going to try there. But they have like a choral production the end of May. They have Matilda the end of May. They have this trip, that kind of thing. So we'll see, but it's not looking great. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
So I guess the next question is like, what else do we want instead? And is it too late to ask for more of something?
Well, there was this one artist that I was asking if they would be interested in joining us on the 19th, but he wasn't available. So if we're looking for a musical aspect, we could see if he's available on the 1st. But yeah, I just really wanted This Is Me to work out.
Me too.
So, I just wonder, are there other songs, like what were I'm taking the knowledge from my experience. So musicals and plays were pretty big in my high school. And I just wonder if that's the same for Wakefield High School. What were the last 4 musicals? Is there any sort of song kind of like This Is Me that could work? And then can we get like people there? Just because like getting the community involved, that would have been really cool to see and hear for sure.
I also emailed Jason Pavey and Bonnie Warren. And Jason Pavey said that he was going to sort of talk with individuals at the high school and that he'd get back to us, and I haven't heard from him. So why don't I follow up with him again and just see what, if he's heard anything or considered anything. And I'll give him the update about Keenan too. And maybe there, to your point, like maybe there are individuals at the high school that want to come and do something. They're about to do the Wizard of Oz next week, I think.
Okay.
So I don't know. Let me see what I can find out.
It's a queer cultural touchstone.
Yeah, seriously. So
right.
The other thing that I'm thinking is the a cappella group. They've sung at various HRC events, and again, it kind of depends on what they have in their repertoire. Sometimes they have things that are like really on topic and like kind of it's a good match for the event.
Yeah.
Same problem with everything else where there's like a bunch of competing like time commitments and stuff.
Well, let me see.
Oh yeah, let us know, and that'd be pretty cool if it does end up working out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what the follow-through plan was. So Yana's not here, but she had said that she was going to reach out to people to see if anyone was interested in like speaking and participating. I haven't heard back from her. So I can email her or text her or something to find out if she's heard anything, but has any of you heard anything back from Yana?
No, I asked about the panel.
Hmm.
She was gonna ask, and I heard that there's like other people she's following up with. And this was on, I think, over the weekend, because I was just trying to see if we were gonna have an update for this meeting. I wasn't sure if she was gonna attend or not. But we didn't talk about the flag raising speakers.
Jenny, you just spoke at the flag raising last year, right?
It was the chairs of the HRC. It was me. It was the chair of the town council and the chair of the school committee.
Okay.
Yep. Well, so let me follow up with Yana as well, or I don't know, instead of us all like contacting her separately, Daniela, do you want to ask her when you talk to her about whether she was also reaching out to people about the pride flag raising?
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything that we should start working on? Maybe let's just wait to hear back from Yana, I guess. I was going to say, should we start with a contingency plan of thinking of like other possible speakers? But I'm thinking, let's give her a chance to get back to us and find out where we're at. The flag signs and artwork and stuff, I don't know that there's anything really that we have to talk through or plan out for that. When we get closer, I think we'll just have to figure out like who's going to print out all the little signs and like do stuff. But I don't know that there's anything we have to do right now, unless you guys have anything on your mind.
Seems the easiest part.
Yeah.
The only thing is, like, if we do, I'm gonna think of like signs / artwork. I also think of like local businesses having the event on their windows. I don't know if we want to start in on that mid-May. So that way we're 2 weeks.
Yeah. How long do you think is the appropriate lead time? 2 weeks?
I wouldn't go too far. Like I wouldn't do 3 or 4 weeks, because well, we're at 4 weeks now. People might forget about it, but a week or two, 2 max. At least that's usually standard practice from my experience with comms and like introducing events that people may be interested in.
Okay, cool.
Was the plan to use one of Yana's artwork for like the event sign?
Yeah, there was one that sort of lent itself well to sort of
Like
a flyer.
Triangle in it? Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was. Let's see. There's Stronger Together. We were going to make stickers of that one. It was the hand like this, and it says Stronger Together. Okay, and then we have these two. Let me do a screen share. Oops. What's going on, screen share?
A few weeks ago when I was walking downtown and we stopped in at Cravings. I forget what window it was, if it was at Cravings or somewhere right around there, but I saw Yana's artwork in the window. It was like some sign for something else, and it was the hands and the heart. And I was like, that looks familiar. And then sure enough, I looked closely and her name was on it.
Yeah. So there's this one. It won't let me share my whole screen for some reason, but there's this one.
Mm,
And are you seeing both of them right now? No, right?
Just
just
the one.
yeah. All are welcome.
Okay, yeah, there's that one, and then there's this one.
Yes.
And so this one like has the space in the middle of it. So I was figuring we could, I don't know if she would be okay with us maybe making that middle space a little bit bigger or something. And we can just put the like flag raising event dates on there.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Do we know where it's gonna be? Is it the Maricol?
So yeah, let me give you an update about this. The hope is that it's going to be on the plaza of the library. The library board of trustees has to vote on that, and their meeting is tomorrow. I'm really hoping that that just is going to go smoothly and be a go, because so one thing that's been like a question mark for the town in terms of raising pride flag or the Juneteenth flag or any other flag is there is a Supreme Court case that has to do with this exact issue of like, can you allow some organizations to raise their flag and not other organizations? That case was decided today or yesterday or something. And it turns out that they said, no, it is a free speech issue and you can't tell a group that they can't raise their flag. This one was specifically about like the city of Boston told a religious group that they couldn't put their flag in front of City Hall. But like they have let lots of other groups put their flags in front of City Hall, like gay pride flag and stuff like that. So the last time the town council met about the flag policy, they were saying if this in fact was the way that the Supreme Court ruled, likely what they would do is just stop flying any flags at all other than the US flag and the POW MIA flag. That the town of Wakefield itself would not fly the pride flag and would not fly the Juneteenth flag because it would open them up to like a discrimination lawsuit if somebody else wanted to fly their flag, and they said no.
So the Supreme Court case ruled that they can't, you cannot say no because it's along the lines of free speech.
Something like that. Yeah, it's like you can't let one group fly their flag and not let another group fly their flag because it's like some kind of discrimination. I mean, it's discrimination, but that it's like a free speech issue, that the flag represents like a forum for public speech.
And that's for federally owned or, municipality owned.
That was a municipal issue that they were deciding.
And how does the library fall in all of that? Like,
See, this is what I mean, that's municipal property. It is governed, in its own way, separate from the town, but it's separate, but it's not totally separate, right? Those are like publicly elected offices. I don't really understand perhaps what the like overlap or non-overlap is. So I don't necessarily know what's going to happen tomorrow in the board of trustees meeting.
I wonder, like, what is the definition for groups? Because the way that our bylaw has it, it's like town sponsored, sort of kind of like commissions, and I don't know if nonprofits were included in there, but it was like town organizations. I don't know if that was in this case more broad, since it was a religious group. It doesn't, I'm not sure if it sort of like fits.
Yeah.
The same.
I don't know, when the town's lawyer was talking about this the other day in the town council meeting, this question came up of like, well, wouldn't we be protected because our flag policy says that only town bodies can fly the flag, and like presumably no town body is going to. But I mean, some legitimate questions came up around that. Like Ed Dombrowski, I think, brought up the most kind of like helpful example that I've heard recently. Because the thing that people say is like, we don't want to be put in a position where we would be forced to fly the Nazi flag. And it's like, okay, and like, are any town bodies going to ask you to fly the Nazi flag? Like, probably not. And anyway, so Ed brought up an example, which was, so the flag policy right now is that a town body can request to fly a flag in conjunction with a town-sponsored event. So what if the boosters, it's either a town body or a nonprofit that is specifically, their mission is to support a town body, like the Friends of the BB, for example. He was like, what if the boosters, which is a nonprofit whose mission is to support the high school athletic department, wants to fly the Warrior logo flag? Can you say no? Because it fits within our flag policy, but if it goes against the the wishes of the town or something, to say no would be then discriminatory.
Right.
So I thought that was a helpful and relevant example. And Tom Mullen brought up a related issue, which was something having to do with if a group came to the WHRC and said, we would like you to put on a Human Rights Commission event, around such and such an issue. And the HRC said, no, we don't want to support that issue. Would that be a form of discrimination? And would that then, if the group was saying, we want you to put on an event supporting our group or our issue, and we would fly a flag in conjunction with this event, and we said no. Anyway, basically the direction that the town council was leaning in was definitely like, if this was how the Supreme Court decided this case, that they would just like say no to all flags forever. So then our option would be private flagpoles. Like the UU Church, or like, I don't know what places have like prominent flagpoles that are private and that would be like inclined to fly things like the Pride and Juneteenth flags.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Wakefield Little League, I think, owns one baseball field and the rest are owned by the town. And the one baseball field, I feel like I'm going to be quoted as like totally wrong, but I think it's Fernald.
Which one is that?
Which is like down by Shaw's.
Okay.
And so like, that's an interesting idea. I don't know. It's disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
So
here we are. So the
yeah,
timing of all of this could be, because of this case, when does the town council meet next? Next month?
they meet, I can't remember. I just looked it up yesterday. Actually, I might still have the tab open. Okay, they haven't announced their next meeting, but I think it would normally be scheduled for a week from today.
So the library meets tomorrow.
Yeah,
They could postpone this to have the town council weigh in because of this case too.
it's possible. Yeah.
Yeah, usually second and fourth Monday is when they meet, so. Okay, well, should we have just preemptively our next meeting, maybe next week after the Monday meeting, so we just, if we have to pivot, then we can figure out, all right, how we're gonna pivot.
Oh, but I don't think it would be the 9th because that's town meeting. I wonder what they do.
Would they discuss that at the town meeting? Probably not, right?
No, it would have had to have been announced in the warrant like weeks ago. But I'm just wondering because of their normal schedule would be the 9th, but maybe it's gonna be different because of town meeting. But yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense to try to meet. Well, let's play it by ear just a little bit so that we have time to announce a meeting still. So like after tomorrow's library trustees meeting, maybe we'll know like what we need to plan for.
No meeting was in my calendar for the 16th, so glad you said something.
Well, I hope that's right. Did you just look it up?
I just Googled it now. May 16th.
You
It
were
is May-
right.
It is May 16th. Okay.
Great. Move this in my calendar. Okay, good. So then you're probably right. The town council meeting will probably be next Monday.
Okay, so we'll hold on to that, and then obviously we'll be able to give a conversation about the Juneteenth celebration at the next HRC meeting. Well, okay, that's good to know. Thank you for that update. I didn't know actually about the Supreme Court case.
I was anticipating that it was not going to be decided until the summer or the fall. So this was a surprise to me. Like I was figuring it would this was going to become an issue for the town, but we still had some time.
Sounded like that in the town council too.
Yeah.
Should we proactively look at organizations in Wakefield that have like private flagpoles that we might want to reach out to?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it makes sense. I don't know. Okay, so the ideas that we had so far, the UU Church, I don't have any sense of like whether the Congregational Church is like open and accepting, but that's another one that's right on the lake, you know? And well, I'm thinking the Episcopal Church would be a good bet also, which is also right on the lake. Okay, and you said the Fernald Field flagpole maybe?
Yeah. I'll find out.
Yeah, I don't have a sense of what other buildings are sort of like prominent enough that they would have their own flagpole.
feel like I notice like residents having flagpoles in their front yard more than I do like a business.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible that there are some. I just don't can't picture them off the top of my head. So,
Yeah.
And it was convenient with the town because I could just ask the DPW, like, where are all the flagpoles? And they sent me this long list. But in terms of privately owned ones, it's like, I guess we'll just have to scout them out.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go again, driving around town looking for flagpoles.
Flagpole recon. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know if any of the the businesses by the head of the lake maybe have anything. I have no idea. No idea.
Yeah, I'm like trying to drive down the street in my head and I can't think of any.
Well, when we explore, at least we know that we don't need to explore like everywhere, because it's got to be somewhat prominent, right? Like we don't want it to be. That was the whole thing with the AmeriCorps centers. People were like, "Hey, why aren't you flying the pride flag?" when we were.
Right.
So, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, so keep your eyes out and let's then, why don't we just go ahead and plan to meet next week anyway, after the town council meeting? So that would be either like Tuesday, Wednesday. I can't do Thursday, but I could do Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. What about you two?
I could do Tuesday, but not until after 7.
Mhm.
Flexible.
Or
Yeah.
Friday the 13th. Oh, Friday the 13th.
Which do you prefer, Daniela, Tuesday or Friday?
If we do like 5:30 or 6 on Friday, that's fine.
Would you prefer that, Eileen, to the Tuesday at 7?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, let's do 6. Okay, let me put this in my calendar to post the meeting.
And then for the concert, so I did reach out to a bunch of people to have like a tent, but I think the way that I worded it was like you can be present there, but like if people wanted to sell, they could. But I think from what I gather, like we actually can't have individual vendors sell because then they have to fill out their own permit and pay.
Yeah, so this is, I reached out to the town about this question and asked about having, that we were thinking about having some vendors. And they responded and said that each vendor would have to apply for a permit and pay whatever associated fees. And if they want to have a tent, they would have to include that in the permit, which is itself $100 fee. So it would end up being like a few $100s per vendor to participate, which seems ridiculous.
Yeah, I think for the farmer's market, they only have to pay like a $50 application fee.
I don't know if yeah. That's a great point. I mean, I don't know how it works, but if that's the case, then.
They also have that storage container, and I wonder if that storage container is tents and tables that they own. But so that's for people who want to sell, but so we have Nagley, who's not, they're not going to be selling anything. I have a confirmation from Gay for Good, which they mobilize the community and ally volunteers around the Boston community. So it's like inclusive service projects in support of a wide range of causes. And it's not just limited to Boston, but the surrounding area. So they probably would just be like talking about ways that people in the community can get involved and volunteer. And then the Dollhouse, which is a salon down in the center of town. And their idea was, I think, to offer like tinsel extensions. So they're just like these like somewhat streamer like things that you can like put a bead in your hair. I didn't go to them and say like, hey, can you do that for free? I didn't give them any updates because I wasn't sure if we can have people like be present as part of the HRC offering for the event, if they're not selling.
Yeah, like what if we had somebody doing face painting? Like, I'm assuming that person wouldn't have to apply for a permit.
Right,
I would
right.
think that.
So, and then hopefully like we don't have to have, you know, tables and tents, but I mean, if that's the case, like I have a couple of 8-foot tables I could bring, and I think I have a tent. I have acquired it as a new homeowner, and I don't think I ever once set it up. It's probably difficult and complicated with my luck, but we could try to see if it's not too difficult. And then in which case, then we probably would have space for 2 tables underneath that.
Yeah, and in the past, when we tabled at like the Festival by the Lake, we used Jeremy's tent. He also has one that we can probably use.
Okay. Might
And
be-
I think we have 2, and we have 2 6-foot tables.
Yeah, I have 2, they're kind of smallish tables. I think it's a 4-foot table. I'm looking at it right now, measuring it with my eyes.
like worst came to worst, we could just provide our own, and then just
Make
tell
it
them.
work.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the thing, like, I don't, actually, this is a great question. It didn't occur to me that it did not occur to me that the fee for the tent was for the town to provide the tent. I think that the person would provide the tent and they would have to pay for the privilege of setting it up. And when I applied for the permit, I requested a couple of tents. Let me see if I can pull up my permit application. Wakefield event permit application portal. Well, let's see here. Applications. Oh, shit. I only put in a request for 1 tent when I made the permit application.
So do you think we can't bring our own?
No, I think we can. Well,
Oh.
I think what I think is for whatever is approved within the permit, we would be providing those tents. And so what I'm thinking now I can do is reach back out to clarify and say like, okay, say we're not talking vendors, say we're talking like, what do you call it? Volunteer organizations, you know, NAGLY, things like that. Would those people be allowed to participate in the event without needing to like get a permit?
Is it not possible to amend our permit?
Yeah, exactly. Or like, that's basically kind of what I'm thinking. Like, instead of them having to apply, well, what I had originally asked when I reached out about this question of like, can we have vendors? I was like, can I add tents to our permit? Maybe like 6 or something. And, you know, so that we can have vendors. And she said, no, they would each have to apply for their own permit.
Got it.
And so anyway, let me just clarify. Because your question about the
Farmers market.
Farmers market is an interesting one. Like, I wonder if the thing is that the farmers market itself is paying for all of those tents, like paying for all of that, you know, whatever, like they have a permit that includes like 15 tents or whatever. But it's like you said, the actual individual vendors, do they have to apply for their own individual permit? Anyway, let me explore some more.
Okay. Yeah, there are a couple of people I think that asked for more information, but I just have not answered.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'll answer when I know more. And then the ASL interpreter, were you able to get anyone?
Yeah, I reached out to a person who's connected to the deaf and hard of hearing community in Wakefield to ask about interpreters. Like if she, like, I don't know, she had offered to me, she was like, give me a call, I'll talk to you some more about the ins and outs of getting interpreters. So I'm gonna have a phone call with her sometime this week. Yeah, so I'm working on it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, let's see. What's the name of the salon that you said that you talked to?
The Dollhouse. And then the other organization was Gay for Good, the number 4.
Oh, I see.
And then let me see, there was someone who asked for more information. Wicked Queer, which is Boston's LGBTQ plus film festival.
Okay. The other, well, I'm going to throw this idea out here, but I have questions about it, which is we have the space at the UU church, like all set for us. We can use that space. If we were to be doing this event inside the UU church, we could have vendors, we could have food, we could have whatever we want, as well as the concert. So that's our rain space at the moment. But I have 2 thoughts about this. One, would it be more advantageous to just do the event at the UU church so that we could have like a more exciting event with like more stuff? Or 2, could we do like an indoor vendor fair that's like separate from the concert? So be like, walk down the street, like put up signs, be like, go visit our vendor fair.
I don't know if the vendors will love that if
Yeah.
they're separate from the event, but I like the idea of like trying to let the event be the best it can be without being confined by town permits and money. I do wonder, like, who are we thinking of for food? Did we do any outreach to local restaurants to see if they would want to cater or?
No, not yet. My like idea in my brain had been ice cream. And last time we had a Pride event, we were able to get ice cream donated from Richmond's. Is that an ice cream place?
Richardson's.
Richardson's, yes. So they donated ice cream for like a ice cream, what do you call it? Kind of like ice cream social thing that we did at the Boys and Girls Club a couple years ago. So that was sort of on my mind, like, would we be able to hit them up again? It's easier than catering like food, like, I don't know what other thing would be like a good kind of handheld fun food item for a party, you know?
pizza, but it's not super handheld, just depends on how you eat your pizza.
Mhm.
You do it the Italian way, you kind of like fold the entire pie in 4 and then eat that.
It's a lot of pizza.
It is. Street food in Naples, though.
I have never been inside the UU church. Like, how big, if we just moved everything there, how big is it? And could we accommodate a concert, food vendors, volunteer organizations? Like, are we making it too much there?
I've never been in the sanctuary. What Elizabeth told me is that it's bigger. The sanctuary is like the bigger space and has good like acoustical setup and all that stuff. The downstairs has a kitchen and a like meeting hall, which also has a stage. So it's like we could do the concert in either space, but the sanctuary is bigger and nicer. And we could also like split it up and like have the concert upstairs, vendors downstairs, or we could, I don't know, there's like options. We have the whole building basically at our disposal.
I wonder if it's possible for us to go inside at some point and just check it out on our time, just because it's hard for me to imagine it. I'm picturing the church that I attended when I was a kid and just kind of thinking it in accordance to like what I see on the outside.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. I think we should set up a time. They break for the summer, which is why we have the opportunity to use the church on a Sunday afternoon. So maybe sometime in the next couple weeks we could see. Elizabeth also, I think, works part-time. I don't understand what her schedule is. Maybe that was only because of COVID. She was like only in town sometimes. So I could try to see whether she could show us around or like somebody from the congregation could show us.
Yeah, because we might not need to make a call in our next meeting next Friday, but perhaps in the following meeting, because then we're going to want the flyers to go out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have time. And I guess it all depends on whether that person gets back to you, if we can just amend the permit, if we can just use our own tents and tables, and then we can just, yeah. The vendor does say something along the lines of selling, whereas like if they're not selling, they're just there.
Yeah.
Wonder if that's a loophole.
Yeah. Let me see.
As far as the panel, thank you for the introduction, Benny, into Fran. So we got one. I haven't followed up just because we want to see like who else is going to be there, so we can say, this is what we're thinking. These are the other panelists. Yana said she's still following up with other people. Eileen, was there another person you were thinking of? I think you sent out an email, right? I don't know if I
Yeah.
should follow up.
I just sent another follow-up to the two of them. Jason Pavey and Bonnie Warren. Bonnie Warren does the diversity club or whatever at the school. And so I was hoping that she'd be able to kind of give us ideas of individuals that may want to be part of the panel. But yeah, I just followed up because I hadn't heard back.
Okay. Maybe next week, Benny will give you more of an update there.
Yeah, and let me know if, in terms of a person in the middle age range, I feel like we probably have our pick of the litter. Like there's plenty of like 30-something queer people in Wakefield. And if you want any, like, I was thinking about, there's a former HRC commissioner, Frankie, who is gay, and his sister who's trans, who both are like Wakefield, lifelong Wakefield residents, and they're both kind of like mid-30 somethings people. So I was thinking could try to reach out to them. There's also, yeah, there's like tons of people. So
I think that's a good idea, especially since they formally were linked into the HRC. I think it's nice to sort of touch base again. And then if we don't get any leads, our fallback could be to just post something on our Facebook page. And if we don't get any bites, I could ask someone, either I could post it or I could ask like the admin for some of the community groups to, because sometimes people will like, can you like anonymously ask them to post something? So that way it's like, doesn't have to be like pointing fingers at the HRC necessarily, but that way it's like, you know, no communications from us as a group. It's like, we're just calling for panelists of the, from the LGBTQ community, then he can just like connect me directly versus like the HRC is looking for, because then I think everyone has to technically approve of that kind of communication.
I don't think everybody has to approve of it.
No, if I posted on there that the HRC is seeking panelists, that'd be okay.
Yeah, the HRC Pride Subcommittee.
Okay.
I think we did it for International Women's Day too. Like looking for panelists, not this year, but in years prior to like the Facebook community pages, and it wasn't an issue then.
Okay.
It would be really wonderful to have a trans panelist, I think. Because I feel like it's important, obviously, but visibility is certainly more important in the town too, so that'd be great.
But would you mind reaching out to Frankie to see if his sister would like to get involved?
Yeah, let me see if I can get a hold of either of them. Let's see.
Are there any health organizations in the North Shore that sort of focus on LGBTQ health issues that we'd want to invite as one of like the nonprofit vendors? I mean, I know of Fenway, but Fenway isn't, they don't really serve, I mean, they serve all of the communities in Massachusetts, but I don't know that we have a lot of like health centers that are based in the North Shore. Do you?
Can't think of any specifically off the top of my head, but I reached out to around 50 or so vendors, and I feel like in there must have been some sort of care.
Okay.
But it's hard because it's such a blur. I was like doing the research, then interviewing, then not interviewing, then like looking on their website, seeing like who's on their membership or their leadership team, and just figuring out like how to contact them, and then I'd send the contacts. So it's just like it was all kind of all at once.
Okay. I had a meeting today with someone from Fenway Health about planning a, Pride Month event for work. And so I can also reach out to them too. It would be kind of nice to have sort of health resources, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I wonder if Nagley's website even has like a resources section
Oh, that's a great
that might
point.
include healthcare resources.
Yeah. And I can reach out to them too and see.
I'm trying to think. There used to be a place in Beverly that was not a healthcare place, but it was like a it was like a community center. But I'd have to scrape through some old information. It was sort of like not a big organization. It was just a little place.
Okay.
And they may be gone.
Yeah, like we could have someone from like the Trevor Project or like the suicide hotline or something like that. I think that would be kind of nice. So I'll go take a look, see what I can find.
Yeah, that sounds good. What else? Oh, it occurred to me we were approved in the HRC meeting to buy flags and stickers. So we should follow up on that. I can't remember right now off the top of my head how much money they said we could use. Does either of you remember?
100 was it? Because it was like around $75, and then I was like, can we approve of 100 to cover like shipping costs? But then I was looking at flags and I think maybe stickers too. And then I was like, and I sent that spreadsheet, and it's like Amazon has the cheapest stuff, unfortunately. And it's way lower than 100.
Well, maybe we can just buy a crap ton.
Have a stock for not just Pride events, but for every HRC table event.
Yeah, we got $100. Would you be willing, Daniela, to follow up in terms of, so the way all HRC purchases, I'm assuming you've encountered this already, are by reimbursement. So one of us would have to buy the stuff and then you submit it to Sherry Dalton at the town and they cut you a check.
Okay.
But since you already started looking at it, I'm wondering, one, if you're interested in continuing to figure out about ordering that stuff, and two, if you're willing to buy the thing.
Yeah, I can do that. I didn't find anything better than Amazon as far as price. And then now, because I looked at it, it just keeps suggesting me stickers and flags. So I can't really escape it now.
It could
Yeah.
be worse.
Yeah, it's fine. Although I did just have to buy some things for cousins in their baby showers, so I might just be getting a lot of targeted stuff I do not want. I'll get the pride flags. I'll just set the record straight.
Yeah.
And I'll have to look back at Sherry's email about finance process. It was a little wordy, so I wasn't sure. I wasn't very clear, but I can just like get the pride stuff, have it shipped to my house. I would need to somehow give it to one of you, because I'm not in town on the 1st, unfortunately. So I won't be there for the flag raising, but I will be there for the concert. So I can at the very least bring it to the concert if we can't do any more flag raisings.
Well, I will be
Can I have
there
a
at
flag
the flag
raising?
raising. Yeah. I said I'll be there at the flag raising, but I won't be there at the concert, Daniela. So if you want to drop them,
I can be the holder of the flags since I will be at both. So
there you go.
that would be great. We had talked about getting stickers based on that piece of artwork from Yana. Is custom stickers an option based on what you were seeing?
I saw stickers that were a variety of pride stickers, and they were just like these big rolls like of tape stickers, and they were really cheap, but I didn't see custom ones that those might take a little bit more money, but I wonder if we had done them before, right? Because we have done stickers before.
But not custom ones. We have, I think we did do some kind of just like regular, some kind of pride stickers last year.
Okay. And they have similar-esque stuff since it's all pride themed for the stickers. So I don't know if we need the custom, if we're gonna use the posters and the
Yeah.
artwork for like the flag signs and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and we talked about getting a variety of, not like the whole smorgasbord of flags, but like the progress flags or maybe some trans flags or different,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't know what do you think, Eileen, in terms of the stickers, whether we do the custom ones or just can have generic ones?
I think generic are fine, and they're good for us to use year over year. And as long as we're using Yana's artwork for like the Facebook page for flyers throughout the town and then the day of, I think hopefully she'll agree that that's probably enough.
Cool. What else? Any other stuff on your minds? Things that we need to pay attention to?
Did I send you the rest of the transgender profiles for Facebook posts?
I think you sent me something that was with lots of profiles. Hold on, let me find it.
And if we don't have anything, any major campaigns for our Facebook page, in a couple of weeks, I think we could post before and say like, in relation to the upcoming Pride Month, and then sort of have it there. And so that way it's not like we only post about Pride stuff in June and then we move on and we only post about stuff in this month. So that, because I think I have another, someone in my company made like a deck of, I think, prominent lesbians because it was Lesbian Visibility Day. So I have then even more profiles, and it includes pictures, their names, and then like a little blurb that you could just copy and paste into Facebook.
I feel that you sent me this, but I can't find it right now.
Okay.
Not the lesbians one, but you sent me like a bunch of profiles.
Okay. I can track it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to email you because you're here.
Hi. Yeah. Thought this might be easier.
We had a couple questions for you, Yana. Who
Yeah.
wants to go? Take it away. Somebody questions.
There's a couple of things. So for flag raising, we were wondering if you've connected with anyone about speakers, and also if you've received any student input for a Pride event.
Okay, so I had someone, and then they had a last minute conflict that unfortunately couldn't do it. So then I reached out to a couple of people yesterday, and I know we were looking for like youth, but I thought of reaching out to I don't know if you guys know her, Olivia Dannenberg. She used to go to the high school, and I think she's around 22 now. And I reached out to her because we're family friends with her, but also she recently wrote something in the newspaper about supporting the LGBTQ community. So I thought like it was really good, informative, and powerful. So I thought that would be a good person, and she said she would love to, and she's very interested. So there's that if we want to take her up. Everyone else, it's hard because is the pride flag June 1st? Is that when we're doing it? Yeah, it's a bit hard because that's when prom is. So like,
Prom's the same night?
yeah. So
Oh, we're in trouble, Yana.
I know. I know. So I won't be able to make it, sadly.
This is terrible news.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
It's exciting for you. It's a bummer for us. Should we reevaluate June 1st?
Everyone in town will attend except those who are 18 years old. I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
What about March? What about May 31st? Or we do June 4th after the kids who are going on a trip. Who
Get
would,
back.
yeah, then we get This Is Me back.
Yeah, we found out also, Yana, that there's a conflict with the 7th graders who were gonna maybe sing This
Oh.
Is Me. They're gonna be in New York City.
Really?
So, but they'll be back. They'll be in New York from the 1st to the 3rd.
Right.
Interesting.
And this is if we can raise the flag.
Right. There's that. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yana, there is a potential. We'll find out after this upcoming Monday's town council, but there was a Supreme Court case that basically restricted town bodies or councils, for example, to say no if an organization wants to fly a flag because it's in correlation with free speech. And that's town council's hesitancy sometimes, like, well, if we open up the gates, what are we gonna have to let in? So,
Yeah.
but, if we get like a speaker, say for the flag raising, and we can't do the flag raising, maybe they could be a part of the panel, which is separate. It's not contingent on a date. We will make a date that works with the panelists. It's just finding the panelists first.
Okay. All right.
Who
so
was the person, Yana, that you spoke to who's interested in speaking?
Her name's Olivia Dannenberg. Yeah. She's great. So I feel like that would be a strong person to have. And for the other question you guys had, I have a youth council meeting tomorrow. So I'm hoping to mention this event, see if anyone's interested or just would like to do something, or I don't know. Anyone had thoughts and opinions, questions, whatever. So I'll give you an update after that and see if I have any new people that are interested in like helping out or something.
Yana,
And-
who's the teacher that runs the youth council?
Catherine Dingra.
Okay. Okay, that's helpful.
Should we also get input on the concert on the 19th if they want to show up and do anything or see anything there, since that I think is going to be a longer event?
You asking Yana?
You asked me.
Everyone, I just feel like there's a flag raising event, but there's also the concert. It could be valuable just to like see if they would want to attend one or both or the other whatnot and what they want to see there, especially if the flag is a maybe.
Yeah. So wait, sorry, I'm a bit confused. Would you want us to get like in touch with those people, or
Student input. So for the youth council, aren't you like the purpose of bringing up the flag
Yeah.
raising?
you would want? Wait, can you read? Sorry, I'm confused. Sorry about that.
No worries.
So is the question, Daniela, like getting input, 1, on what would you like to see at a flag raising event? What would make it awesome? 2, what would you like to see at a community family friendly concert event? What would make it awesome?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like, do you
that
want to
makes sense.
participate in any of those things?
That
Yeah.
makes sense. I'm sorry, I don't know. I got so confused. I'm sorry about that.
Right.
But yes, I can ask that and I'll let you guys know all the feedback, questions, opinions, thoughts, and all of that.
Cool.
That'd be great. Yana, if it's helpful, I can email Catherine Dingra and just share what we're planning and then
Okay.
and ask her to sort of follow up with you, at the meeting. Would that be helpful?
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Okay, I'll do that. Sounds good.
Vinny, I don't know if you already put in an action item, but I can resend the PowerPoints that we can pull the profiles from.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and do that? Because I was having trouble finding it.
No worries. Yeah.
Danielle, I was thinking of you. I don't know if you've heard of this organization, but it's the Boston Women's Heritage Trail, and they have their Facebook page, and every like 3 or 4 days, they post a new profile about like a prominent woman in the United States. Sometimes they focus on Boston, but I've seen it a little bit of everywhere. And it's like a constant profile or update of someone that, made some advancement or like is an important person or that kind of thing. So while you were talking about like pulling these profiles together and sharing them on a regular basis, that's what it made me think of that. I don't know if you've ever seen them or heard of them, but they're pretty great, but they post regularly. It's pretty cool.
Said
I
it's
think I've heard of them, but I'm definitely gonna have to check them out. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, they're great.
Boston. Well, I'm mixing the words up. Which one was
Yeah.
it?
They have their own website. It's the bwht.org, but they also have a Facebook page, Boston Women's Heritage Trail. And they've put together like, I don't know, a trail by, little neighborhood in Boston. But they post all sorts of profiles regularly on their Facebook, and it's kind of cool.
That is cool. Thank you for letting me know. I'm looking at it now. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So Yana, we were actually just wrapping up. We started the meeting at 6. So
I'm sorry.
that's okay. I think there was like a lot of confusion because Sherry accidentally sent the meeting out for the wrong time originally. And then she also accidentally sent it as a full HRC meeting, which was not the case. So there was like many switching
Okay.
around in the meeting invite. So
Well, I'm glad I made it. Is it usually
Yeah.
at 6?
huh?
Is it usually at 6?
That's what the last 2 we were at. 6.
Okay. I definitely got it confused with youth council and HRC because they're
Yeah.
both at 7. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
'cause those
this
are
is
all
that
at 7.
routine. But I'm really glad I made it, and sorry about that.
No worries.
That's good. I'm also glad you made it.
And next week we're meeting on Friday the 13th at 6. If you want to put that in, I don't know if you can make it or not.
I don't think I can because I have the API showcase then.
The what
So-
showcase?
The API, it's when all the students in
Oh,
API
yeah,
like
yeah.
have the it's like put everywhere in.
Exciting.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, I think we're in good shape for now. So stay tuned for next week.
Okay, and I'll update you guys after the meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. This meeting is herefore adjourned. I don't know. I suppose we're supposed to make a motion to do that.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Eileen, how do you vote on adjourning this meeting?
Yes.
Daniela,
Yes.
Yana.
Yes.
I also vote yes. Okay, great. Bye.